Breaking news. They now say Nancy Guthrie is, quote, buried with nature. As you may recall, the news broke yesterday that a note was received and new details were released regarding that note. Within the note, it stated that Nancy Guthrie is deceased. However, we now know specific wording regarding her being deceased. That letter was received on February 6th. However, we now know this was not the first letter from this particular sender. The IP address from this letter matched the same one as the one sent on February 2nd. That letter was demanding $4 million in Bitcoin. Shortly after receiving the first letter on February 2nd, they sent a small amount of money to the Bitcoin account. This was in hopes of trying to trace the account. However, the entire requested sum was never deposited. Following that, the second letter received on February 6th said that Nancy was, quote, now buried with nature. Within this letter, it also stated that her passing was, quote, accidental. It also gave very specific details regarding the night Nancy went missing, including what she was wearing. Savannah Guthrie has spoken out regarding these new details today on the Today Show. She said, quote, this is unusual and unprecedented, to say the least, to be sitting here, but I don't have any comment on this story and I'm not involved in our coverage, but I can't pretend like I'm not here. And so, since I am, I wanted to take the opportunity to ask people, to beg people to come forward. Somebody knows something. Here's the full timeline of events regarding Nancy's disappearance in the month of February. On Sunday, February 1st, Nancy Guthrie goes missing. On Monday, February 2nd, they received the ransom letter demanding 4 million Bitcoin. Wednesday, February 4th, the first videos of Savannah and her siblings are posted. On Thursday, February 5th, authorities confirmed that BLOOD was located at Nancy's home. On Friday, February 6th, they received the second letter stating that Nancy is deceased. The following day, February 7th, Savannah and her siblings post the, quote, we understand video. On February 10th, authorities released the video and images of the suspect. On February 12th, they released additional information regarding the suspect. On February 16th, authorities clear all of Nancy Guthrie's family as suspects or persons of interest. On February 19th, authorities say that there may be more than one suspect. Here is a detailed timeline of events of the day that Nancy went missing. On January 31st at 5:32 p.m., Nancy Guthrie takes an Uber to her daughter's house for game night. At 9:48 p.m., she then returns home after her son-in-law drops her off. At 9:50 p.m., her garage door closes. At 1:47 a.m., Nancy's front doorbell camera is disconnected. At 2:12 a.m., motion is detected showing a masked individual messing with the device. At 2:28 a.m., Nancy's pacemaker stops transmission. Then at 11 a.m. the next morning, Nancy's friend who attends church with her weekly called her family to inform her that she was not there. At 11:56 a.m., family members arrive at Nancy Guthrie's home. They discover Nancy missing, and at 12:03 p.m. they phone authorities. By 12:15, authorities have arrived at Nancy Guthrie's home. From there, the investigation began as to what happened to Nancy Guthrie. And to this day, authorities still have no persons of interest, suspects, or leads in the case. Nancy Guthrie is still considered a missing person, and if anyone has any information regarding her whereabouts or what may have happened to her, please contact authorities immediately. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.